I walked into my parents' kitchen in my dress blues, expecting a hero's welcome. But the first thing my mother whispered was, "You survived." She didn't sound relieved. She sounded inconvenienced. I set my cap on the counter and watched as my father refused to meet my eyes and my sister stared at me like I'd just ruined her retirement plan. For years, I was the disposable son, the one sent off to serve while my sister was the golden child who stayed home to be pampered. It took returning from a war zone to realize my family had already spent my death benefits in their heads. At dinner, my dad didn't ask about the front lines. He asked if I'd considered extending my deployment because the payout was higher for active duty casualties. The betrayal turned lethal when I fell ill shortly after returning. I started noticing a gritty, chemical residue in the coffee my mother insistently brewed for me. I'd survived IEDs and snipers only to find the real enemy was sitting across the breakfast table, rooting for my heart to stop so they could afford my sister's destination, wedding and my dad's new truck. I decided to play their game. I faked the tremors, I let my voice go weak, and I watched their eyes light up like slot machines every time I coughed. I even signed family paperwork that was actually a loan against my life insurance, watching them smirk as they thought they were burying me alive. The climax came on a Sunday afternoon. They had a hospice worker and an insurance agent, ready to finalize the transition. My mother was mid-performance, wiping away fake tears. When I stood up perfectly straight, my voice booming with the strength of a man who was very much alive. I didn't just bring a social worker. I brought the police and an internal investigator. The coffee was a nice touch. "Mom," I said, sliding the lab results across the table. The look of pure, calculated greed turning into soul-crushing terror was the only homecoming gift I needed. I didn't lose my family that day. I finally stopped pretending I ever had one. I walked out, locked the door on their screaming apologies, and for the first time in my life, I was truly home.